Hello, everybody, and welcome back from the long weekend. I know we just had one day off, which doesn't really feel like it's been enough given this entire semester has been just a relentless onslaught. I mean, heck, this entire year has been pretty much without break other than the winter holiday. And it's been just incredibly difficult with the fact that we've been doing this pandemic version of university life with most things being online. It's been a tough time. Hopefully, this little bit of a break has you returning today feeling a little bit more refreshed. I'm trying to do what I can to make this sprint to the very end, what is hopefully the last bit of pandemic university life that we have to do. Hopefully, in fall 2021, we'll be back to almost normal. So what I've done is I've made it so you can take quiz 5. That's the big thing happening during week 12. You can take quiz 5 anytime today on Monday, the 5th of April, or you can take it tomorrow, Tuesday, the 6th of April, anytime before 9 p.m. So the quiz 5 first attempt window is a really, really, really big one. It closes tomorrow at 9 p.m. On Tuesday, the 6th of April. I know that some of you have already done quiz 5 first attempt, and thank you for go ahead and knocking that out. You can breathe a sigh of relief. And hopefully for those that are planning on taking it tomorrow, this is giving you a little bit of a break in what I know has been an crazy and an intense semester and an intense year. I know it's just a small thing, but I hope it is helping out. The second attempt is going to be on Thursday, the 8th of April from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., just as normal. You should have on your calendars and be ready for quiz 6. The last quiz of the semester is going to be happening next week. Quiz 6 is going to cover Unit 2, Part 3. That's topics 4 through 7, where we cover everything from the surface heating of Earth and the equilibrium temperature of Earth and the greenhouse effect, all the way through climate change and the tides. So Unit 2, Part 3, topics 4 through 7. It also includes Unit 2, Part 4, everything we've covered about the moon, up to and including the formation and the evolution of the moon to its current appearance, which you can go outside and take a look at the current appearance of the moon month after month. It goes through its full cycle of phases. So how did it get there? In fact, where did the moon come from and how did it end up in its appearance in the sky? That is included on quiz 6. If you want a list of the specific topics and the things you should be paying attention to, the quiz 6 hints are available to you on Canvas, and I encourage you to look at them sooner rather than later so you can go ahead and home in on what I find to be the most important parts of this material, and hopefully that'll help you navigate the videos and the unit slides for this week and next week. Then chasing on the heels of quiz 6, we have exam 3 during week 14. So week 14, that puts us pretty much at the end of the semester. So we are really, really close to that finish line. We are getting close to summer and hopefully the end of the hardest year of university that I've ever experienced. And I've been in the university system for over 20 years. So the exam 3 must knows, I'll post them later this week. So you have plenty of time to start looking at them, digesting them, and start preparing. I know it's chasing quickly on the heels of exam 2, but I'm a little bit crammed up right here with the balance of the 2 attempt policy, the rigid structure of an asynchronous class, and then university policy, which says I cannot give an exam in a certain number of days before the study day that's listed on the university calendar, which means that even though I'd really like for exam 3 to be a little bit later to give us some more time to digest and to spread out the time between exams, I'd love to give it in week 15, but based on the confluence of my own policies and the university policies and us being asynchronous, there's not much I can do uh, to actually make it happen in week 15 without striking the 2 attempt policy, which I think is more important and more beneficial to you all. So unfortunately, exam 3 will be during week 14. I know it feels like it's happening soon, but hey, once we're done with that, we are going to just call it a semester because week 14 is going to be whatever's on the schedule that week, everything up through Jupiter and Saturn and the moons of Jupiter and Saturn's rings. That's the end of the material. All the stuff I have on the schedule after that, the Uranus and Neptune material, not going to be an official part of the course for this semester. Let's just go ahead and call good enough good enough. It's been a rough ride. I'm sure we're ready for summer. I am still going to produce material that you can have access to. I'm putting together my notes for Uranus and Neptune. I don't have a really nice set of refined notes made in completion yet, but as soon as they're put together, I'll release those on Canvas, and I will be making some videos for those, for that material, and they will be available to you on Canvas if you want to keep up with what's going on and finish out learning about the planets of our solar system. Also, due to the long weekend, week 11 engagement exercise, remember that you have until tonight to do it. If this is news to you, maybe this is really good news because you're like, oh, I completely forgot about it. And guess what? You can do it all the way until 11:59 p.m. tonight. And the last bit of announcements, we have now finished exam 2. So we are in the before exam 3 extra credit opportunities. Be sure to check those out on Canvas. You have the same 3 opportunities that are offered before every major exam. You can repeat them. If you do a astrophysicist, you just have to do a different one. If you do space mission, you just have to do a different one than you've done before. And then we'll have 3 more opportunities before the final exam. So if you haven't even looked at the extra credit yet, you still have all the opportunity to earn up to the maximum of +5 added to your course average in this class. You may be at a point right now where you're thinking, oh no, I need to do something to pull up my grade. And I get emails a lot like, what is the number one thing I can do to improve my grade? Well, do everything that's remaining for the semester, but the biggest single boost you can get is doing all the extra credit. It's half a letter grade that I'm willing to give you if you're willing to put in the extra time, the extra effort, and do a good job on the extra credit opportunities. So we have some live with Dr. Lindsay sessions this week, and what I'm going to be doing for our Thursday session, I want to have a discussion about the formation of the moon and the evolution of the moon. It is sort of a nuanced material, and it's just really kind of cool to understand where our moon came from. It's pretty new on our understanding as well. I mean, it's the giant impact theory has been the favorite hypothesis for quite a while, but we're talking about within. There's lots of people living today where we did not yet have that idea or have the evidence to support it being our main moon formation theory. So if you want to talk about where the moon came from, or you want to do a quiz 6 review, let's go ahead and use Thursday's live with Dr. Lindsay session for that. And on Friday, let's have a discussion about Mercury and Venus. So if you have any questions about those planets, or you want to join and just ask me questions about quiz 6 material, go ahead and log on Friday between 2 and 4 p.m. and ask me those questions that you have. What assignments do we have for week 12? Well, the week 11 engagement exercise, you have until tonight. I know that it's usually due on Sunday, but because of the long weekend, I decided to make it due on Monday. That's today, the 5th of April at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. The week 12 engagement exercise is due as normal. It's going to be due Sunday, the 11th of April at 11:59 Eastern Time. And then this week we have homework 8, unit 12, part 3 is due this Wednesday. Now you may, and in fact you probably want to, complete the Earth homework before taking quiz 5, since quiz 5 does have some Earth material on it. The fact that you have until Tuesday to take quiz 5 should help out with this. At least use one of your attempts. It can help out. Homework 8 is the second to last homework assignment. We only have homework 9 that will be due during week 14 left. So on the horizon, we have week 13 engagement exercise is going to be due at the end of week 13. That's it for the announcements and the assignments for this week, but I want to go ahead and give you a Mars Perseverance and really a Mars Ingenuity update because we are in the countdown for Ingenuity to take its first flight on Mars, the first controlled, powered flight of anything on another planet that's not Earth ever. So a lot of us are really, really excited about it. Plus, I mean, we're going to fly a helicopter on Mars. How cool is that? And it's now in the final preparations. It's doing all the checks so it can be flown on Mars. Right here, we are seeing an image of we had the Ingenuity helicopter. It was strapped to the bottom of Perseverance. So we're seeing the undercarriage of the Perseverance rover right here. And this is it during its deployment. You can see it already has 2 of the 3 legs that are touching the ground. And then it fully deployed. So here it is, or two of the four legs, sorry about that. Here is the Ingenuity helicopter sitting at where it'll take off from to do the first flight on Mars, the first flight on any planet other than Earth. And it's going to be happening. It won't be before April 11th. It might be a little bit after April 11th, but they're shooting for the evening of April 11th. Why so long between now, whenever, look, it's just sitting there. Why don't they just fly it? Why do we have to wait so long? Well, it's going through a series of checks. Right now, this is an image from yesterday. Actually, they just released this image today. The image was taken yesterday and beamed all the way across the solar system. Okay, not all the way across, but from Mars to the Earth, a nice long distance to give us this picture so we can look at Ingenuity on the surface of Mars. And the first test, it passed. Can it survive a Martian night? Because Martian nights get down to minus 130 degrees Fahrenheit for the season that Mars is in. And yes, that is incredibly cold. And when things get cold, they contract. So they want to make sure that it can survive a full cycle of hot and cold on Mars with its extreme temperatures, make sure that none of the electronics crack, make sure everything's getting the appropriate amount of power that it has. So it survived that. And now it's going through a series of checks. It's looking at all its thermal controls. So can it keep the spacecraft at the correct temperatures? Can it regulate the temperatures where it needs to regulate temperatures? Is it getting enough power in its solar cells, which are right here at the very top of it? So can it power itself? How does that charge transfer to the lithium ion batteries? So is going through a large series of checks to make sure everything is working as it should be before they just cavalierly try to send it on a flight when we might have a problem that could be corrected, and then we would wreck the helicopter before we could even get the chance to correct the mistakes. So it has to check the sort of the thermal control system, has to check the batteries, has to check how well it can charge. It'll go through a couple more day-night cycles to make sure everything's going to work over those long time scales. Has to go through rotor checks, make sure that they're all spinning and working appropriately, spinning at the right rates, things like that. All those checks should be done by the 11th of April, and then it will try its first controlled flight. It doesn't carry any scientific instruments on it. Ingenuity is what we call a tech demonstration, a technology demonstration, where the entire purpose of this is to prove that we can fly a helicopter on Mars. We've never done anything like this before. So it is a tech demo. It's to demonstrate that we have the knowledge and capability to do this. So then we can use it to plan future missions where we might want to do some science using flying drones and helicopters rather than rovers. So it is only a tech demo, which means it doesn't carry any scientific instruments on it. It does carry a camera, so we'll get some pretty cool pictures from it, but it doesn't carry a scientific payload at all. It's amazingly light. If you're wondering how light this thing is, it's 4 pounds, so it's less than a gallon of water in weight, and it needs to be super light. And those rotors are going to be spinning at about 2,000-ish, 3,000-ish RPM. Uh, so that's incredibly fast. And that's how it'll actually get lift on Mars, which, yes, you can see that it has an atmosphere, but it's an incredibly thin atmosphere. It's about 1% as thick as Earth's atmosphere. All right, so I want to give you a little bit of a countdown to the first flight that humans will ever try on another planet. I'm super excited, and of course, I'll be sharing more as I get more information with you all. Hope you enjoy your week 12, and we are almost to the finish. So keep strong. We'll get there together, and then we will have an entire summer to recover and hopefully return to normal for fall 2021. Thanks, everybody.